Hello everyone and welcome back to Build with AI series. Today I'm going to do a deep dive on the latest model released by IBM, the Granite 4.1 family. And using this model and the Gamma 4 model from Google, I'm going to build a multi-agent AI researcher which will run completely local on your own machine. So let's build this. The Granite 4.1 family is a family of dense models of 3 billion, 8 billion and 30 billion parameters. So these are highly optimized models that can run on everyday PC without an expensive GPU. What makes this release special is its sheer size of the training data. These models were trained on 15 trillion tokens with a multi-stage training pipeline which can stretch the context up to 500,000 tokens. And after the multi-stage pre-training pipeline, these models were fine-tuned using the supervised data, which means the data which has the targets labeled as well. For example, if you have a housing pricing dataset, the actual prices would be your target. So this model was refined with supervised training on 4 million curated samples. And finally, there was reinforcement learning done, which means the model took the training as a game. It takes some decisions and finally we either reward it or punish it. So the model can refine the strategy in order to get the maximum rewards. And the best of all is IBM has released all these Granite 4.1 models open source using the Apache 2.0 license. Today I'm going to break down exactly how these models are built step by step and then build a project on top of it which can run completely free on your PC. So let's talk about the model architecture. These new models are built on decoder-only dense transformer architecture. In most of the transformer architectures you have encoder and decoder both, which means there will be encoder first which will encode the given user query. It can do all kind of analysis but it cannot generate the text. Then there are encoder-decoder models which can analyze the text and also generate them. And decoder-only models are good at generating text directly with the given prompts that we are giving to the model. So across all the three variations of model, which is 3 billion, 8 billion and 30 billion, IBM has used only this architecture. These also use group query attention, so they will only emphasis on the relevant data for a given query and they take a group of text simultaneously while doing this emphasis. They also use rotary position embeddings, so to understand the sequential data better, it rotates the positions of different tokens and then generate their final embeddings. And for faster processing and smaller load on the system, they use Swigglue activations and do RMS prop normalization on the neural network, which normalizes the values of all neurons while training. Another smart design technique is that all three models share the same training pipeline and the data strategy which keeps the parameter count efficient. The only difference across the three parameter versions is they have different architecture dimensions, so the embedding size will change across the three versions. Now for pre-training the model, it was divided into 5 different phases. They didn't just drop that 15 million tokens that we have talked about all at once into the model, but carefully structured them into different phases for the pre-training. So phase 1 is all about general pre-training. Here the model consumes its first 10 trillion tokens and most data is general web data, which is 60% taken from common crawl. Then there was data from coding, math or technical documents to establish broad language understanding. Then in phase 2 they did the math and coding pre-training using their next 2 trillion tokens. This phase increases the composition of math and coding data just to pivot the model towards stronger reasoning abilities. Math data just jumps to 35%, which is a 5 times increase over the phase 1 size. Now phase 3 is where the magic of mid-training arises. Here they have used a high quality data annealing technique on the next 2 trillion tokens. This is where IBM started to blend in long chain of thought processes and adding in synthetic instruction data so model can become better at instruction following. This leads us to phase 4, which is the refining stage. Here the model is trained on only 0.5 trillion tokens, but it is the highest quality data available, which heavily focuses on high quality web data, clean code and maths. This progressive shift from web heavy data to quality heavy reasoning data is what makes these models so smart for its size. The final pre-training stage is the phase 5, which is long context training. This stage extends the context window of this model from a mere 4K to incredible 500,000 tokens. And they didn't do this in a single long jump. It was a stage-wise extension. So first it was extended from 4K to 32K using the same data mix that was taken in phase 4. Then to 128K token again using the same high quality phase 4 data mix. And finally it was extended to 512K using 80% book data and 20% code repositories data. And after every stage IBM performed a model merge, which ensures that model can natively handle long context windows without destroying its short context performance. And if you look at the benchmarks data, even the 3 billion parameter model retains almost 90% performance of the 30 billion parameter version. So once the base models were finalized, IBM moved to the supervised fine-tuning stage, which is SFT, to turn these models into helpful assistants. The main important thing here is the quality control, because even small amount of bad data can really harm the model's behavior. To fix this, IBM used LLM as just framework alongside rule-based filtering. This means it uses an AI as a judge to evaluate the response across 6 different dimensions, which is instruction following, correctness, completeness, conciseness, naturalness, and calibration along with critical thinking. So if a response contained any of the defects like hallucination, a false premise, incorrect calculations, these judges automatically triggered a hard reject. This kind of pipeline guarantees that only the absolute best verified data goes through the model training. So after filtering out the bad data, IBM was left with 4.1 million high quality data samples, which was used to fine-tune all the 3 different versions using a 16,000 sequence token length. The training was done on 3 epochs, which means the model was trained 3 times on the same data with a very slow learning rate of 5 into 10 to the power minus 6. To handle this workload efficiently, they use 16 different nodes, with each node having 4 times massive GB200 GPUs. So this careful configuration of the fine-tuning ensures the model learns how to follow instructions perfectly without losing their base reasoning skills. The SFT is great, but to truly make a model elite, you need the reinforcement learning. For that, IBM built a multi-stage reinforcement learning pipeline to systematically strengthen the performance of the model. So instead of doing one massive reinforcement learning pass, they ran multiple targeted reinforcement learning stages, with each of them optimizing for different capabilities. For training, they utilized GRPO, which is Group Relative Policy Optimization, and they also paired it with the DAPO loss, which provides more stable training signals compared to the standard GRPO used earlier. But these inherently uses dynamic sampling, but as they were very computationally intensive, IBM switched them off during their training runs. There are 4 different sequential stages in the RL pipeline. First is the multi-domain reinforcement learning, where the model trains on logic, SQL, chat, and science to prevent any forgetting of the facts. Next is the RLHF, where the model trains on generic chat-based prompts using a scalar reward model which supported multiple languages. And this stage improved the performance by around 19 points in the Alpaca benchmarks compared to the SFT stage. Third is the identity and knowledge-based calibration of reinforcement learning, where a quick 40-step stage was done to significantly improve the self-identification capabilities of the model. Finally, they ran math in reinforcement learning because they noticed that the earlier stage caused a drop in mathematical benchmark scores. So this final stage enables the model to recover from that drop and completely surpass the original SFT performance on the mathematical benchmarks. Now let's look at the actual benchmark results where these models actually shine. Compared to the leading open source models of Q1 and Google Gemma, the Granite 4.1 30B outperforms everyone in the tool calling benchmarks, and in instruction following it ranks third among all the different models. The key thing to note is in the tool calling, the 8 billion parameter version is outperforming the 26 billion or 30 billion versions from Gamma or Q1, which means these Granite models pack powerful performance in a very small package of models. So it proves that high quality data curation can make a small dense model punch way above its weight class. And even if we compare the earlier model of Granite, which was 4.2h small, which was having 32 billion parameters, the new 8 billion parameter version consistently beats it across all the different benchmarks. These model also features broad multilingual capabilities, working beautifully in 12 different languages including English, German, Spanish, French, Japanese. So this makes it a perfect production ready automatic executor which can work across enterprise workloads. If you want to run these locally, IBM have made this incredibly easy. They've released an 8-bit quantized versions of these models. So by reducing the precision from original 16-bit to 8-bit, you get a 50% reduction in both the disk uses and the GPU memory usage with almost no quality loss. To install these models, you can either use the HF libraries, or these are also available on Ollama. So just go to ollama.com and search for Granite 4.1 in the search tab. You'll see the Granite 4.1 page with the 3 different versions listed here. Now according to your graphic card capabilities, you can select the version that you want. My general thumb of rule is XGB graphic card, where X would be the number of billion parameters in the model that you want to select. So let's say I have a 4GB graphic card, I will select the 3 billion version model. So I'll just select this query and then you can paste it on any Python IDE terminal. I use Google Antigravity because it has agentic support as well. If you want to install it, just go to antigravity.google/download and download the installer according to your platform. Next, once you open Google Antigravity, just go to File and open a folder and create a new folder for your project. For example, I have created this Granite Researcher project and I have kept these files. All these files will be available in the GitHub link in the description and pinned comment, so you can grab and copy them yourself. So I'll just open the Google Antigravity terminal and paste the query that I have copied and press enter. Now the model will be downloaded and installed in your system. You can either use it as a direct chatbot like ChatGPT, or you can incorporate them in your projects. So now my model is installed and I can directly chat with it. For now, I'm going to use it inside a project, so I can just press Ctrl D and exit the chat window. The second model I'm going to use is Google Gemma 4. So again, go to Ollama and search for Gemma 4. Again, you will see different versions of the models here. I'm going to select the smallest version, which is E2B version. I'm going to select the smallest E2B version. Just scroll down below and select Gemma 4 E2B and copy this query. I'm going to paste this again in the terminal and press enter. Now to get faster responses from this Granite 4.1 model, I'm going to create a custom model out of the base model that we have downloaded. So just create this model file underscore Granite here. The base model will be Granite 4.1 3B, and I'm giving it a system instruction that you are a direct and concise synthetic agent. Your task is to write a comprehensive markdown report based on only the provided search snippets. Do not use any thinking tags, do not output internal monologue, and do not yap, just go straight to the report. So these models inherently uses these thinking tags, which increases the output time for better accuracy. But for just giving this quick demo, I'm using this custom model where I'm disabling these thinking tags, so I get faster responses at cost of small accuracy drop. Again, I'm saying the parameters to stop the thinking tags and using the top P parameter as 0.9, which means the model will stop when it gets 90% of most probable words for generating its next output word, so it discards the 10% of unlikely words. These parameters will optimize your speed and the directness of the model, so we get faster responses. To register this model in Ollama, you can use this simple query, which will create a new model called Granite Direct using the model file that we have used here. So again, I'm going to give this query in my anti-gravity terminal and press enter. So now the new model is registered here. I can also check it by pressing ollama list here, and I'll see that the Granite Direct model is registered here. Now I built a simple Python script which will take a user query, get live web results, and make a final summary using the local AI models that we have downloaded. For doing the web search, I'm using this DuckDuckGo library. Now to plan what kind of searches we have to do for the given user query, I'm going to use the Gamma 4 E2B model, and to make the final summary, I'm going to use the Granite model because this model is very good at instruction following. The final report will be generated in this research report.md file. Then I'm going to check whether the models that we have downloaded are available in Ollama or not. I'm going to again use the ollama.list function. Next, I will check the available models using the response object. You can use the response.models and it will list all the available models. So I'm iterating over all the different models here and making this available models list. First is the planner model and next is the synthesizer model. I'm checking if the required model is in the available models. If it is not, then I will say that please create the model first. And in case of any errors, we are just going to say that error connected to Ollama and make sure the Ollama is running. Now let's say when a user gives a query, we'll use this run research function on top of that to generate the final research. So first I'm printing that I'm starting the research for the given query. Then on that query, the first agent will be run, which is our planner agent. The prompt to the planner agent should be that it should output exactly 3 optimized DuckDuckGo search strings for the given query. It should return strictly a Python list of strings, no markdown, no commentary, and I'm also giving an example which is query 1, query 2, query 3. So this kind of structure you can follow in any prompt that you are giving to AI models. First you give it the task, then the required context, then the strict output format and some examples as well. Then using the ollama.generate, we are giving the query to the planner model. Next, from the response given from the model, I'm fetching the search queries. If the given response is not in the list format, I'm raising a value error, and if we get any other error, I'm just printing that planner output format failed. Next would be your search tool, which will use the queries that is generated by the Gamma 4 models and launch the DuckDuckGo API on top of them. So I'm using the DDGS tool from the DuckDuckGo library. For each of my queries, I'm getting the response from the DDGS tool, and for each of the search results, I'm making an aggregated context for my next Granite 4.1 model, where I'll be putting the source using the href link and the content of the web result here. Then each of the results will be separated by 2 different new line characters. Now I will call the agent 2, which is our synthesizer tool, which is Granite 4.1 model. I'm going to make this query, where first I'm giving the original query, which is given by the user. Next will be the search context, which is fetched from the DuckDuckGo library. The instructions are that based only on the context above, write a comprehensive, well-structured markdown report, include sections like executive summary, key findings, and detailed analysis, and give the citations from the context that we have given if possible. Then I'm giving the synthesizer model this prompt using ollama.generate, getting the response, and finally exporting the given response into a markdown file. If everything is completed nicely, we'll just print that the research is completed and report is saved here. And whenever the Python file is called, we'll first check the models. Then for given test query, let's say I'm giving what are the latest update on AI optimized laptops and PCs, we'll run the run research function on this test query. Now to run this Python file, you just need to give python app.py and press enter. So the research has started for our given query, and the planner agent is planning the search queries or the DuckDuckGo API. Then the DDGS tool is called for the queries that were generated by the Gamma model. Next, the synthesizer agent, which is our Granite 4.1 model, is synthesizing the report. And finally, the research is completed and report is saved to the research report.md file. Now we can check the research report.md file. So it has given this nicely formatted report with emojis, tables, properly marked down text in bullet format, paragraph format, columns format, with all the different sections properly titled as well. Content-wise, it has given first the 2026 perspective that the AI PCs have evolved from a niche category into a standard for modern computing. So we have moved from the AI enhanced features into a world of local autonomous agents and private LLM workflows. The report summarizes the bleeding edge hardware and software trends currently dominating the market. Next, it has given the 2026 hardware titans, AMD, Intel, Apple, Qualcomm, with their flagship chips, the NPU performance, and the key advantages. NPU means the processors which are specifically optimized for AI processing because these are neural processing units. So it has given the AI throughput for all the NPU units which are recently released by these platforms. Next is the workstation breakout, which is AMD Ryzen AI Max. So the trend is high-end mini PCs and specialized laptops that supports up to 128 GB of memory, which will allow professionals to run massive models like 70 billion or GPT-4 local weights entirely on device. Next is the software and model ecosystem. The frontier models right now are GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.7, which is actually correct, and these models are the current benchmarks for reasoning and coding. For Gemini, it is Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is deeply integrated into Google ecosystem and optimized for cross-platform AI workflows. Then there is a rise of agentic benchmarks like Terminal Bench 2, which measures how AI can handle complex terminal and system level tasks. Then there is SWA Benchmark Pro, which is gold standard for measuring real-world software engineering capabilities in AI agents. So top-tier AI devices as of May 2026 are Asus, which is paired with RTX 5090, Microsoft Surface, MacBook Pro, and the MSI Raider. It has also given the highlights and the best for use cases for each of these machines. So if you need high-end AI training, ultimate portable AI assistant, or if you are a content creator or a data scientist, you can go for any of these models. Then it has also given a critical buying advice that don't fall for the top strap alone. While NPUs are great for efficiency, running LLMs locally relies heavily on VRAM and memory bandwidth. Minimum specifications that you are going to need is RAM RAM should be 32 GB, storage should be at least 1 TB. In GPU, while NPUs it is saying that it can handle always on tasks, a discrete NVIDIA RTX 50 series remains the king for generative tasks and high-speed local inference. And finally, it has given a footer note that the report is compiled based on the latest Q2 2026 benchmarks and hardware releases. So we have been able to generate a multi-agent research team using the Gamma 4 and the Granite 4.1 models, with both of them completely running locally on ARM machines, so there are no API costs involved, so it is running completely free of cost. And with these models, we are able to fetch the latest information for our given query, and using them as a synthesizer agent, we are able to generate a properly marked down report. Next, you can send these kind of reports to direct executives because it is nicely formatted as well, so every kind of information is directly visible to the eye. So you can use these kind of projects in multiple fields. For example, you can do market research and competitor analysis for your given product, or let's say for stock research, you can do a entire technical documentation, or let's say you can fetch a news for a stock or do the complete technical documentation, or for your given niche topics, let's say if you are a content creator, you can do an automatic deep dive into your topics without browsing them manually. You can also add some features on top of this project. Let's say we can do recursive research. So whenever we give a user query and the DuckDuckGo results are fetched, we can add some kind of loop if the results that are fetched from the DuckDuckGo library are not enough. So finally, the summarizer agent can have enough context. We can also add some source citations directly by using the URLs, parse them directly and provide inline citations. You can also add a Streamlit UI where user can give their query and the report will be directly generated in the UI itself. And we can also integrate multiple models and dynamically switch them basis the query complexity given by the user. The entire code and this README file having the step-by-step instruction on how to install all these models and to run the final project are uploaded in the GitHub link repository. I'll be putting them in the description and pinned comments below. So grab the code today, build your own researcher agent. Comment down below if you want me to build more such local AI projects, and follow the channel for more such AI builds, updates and workflows.